Oh, what's going on, guys? I'm Alex from Tech. How you doing? Today, we are going to talk about a crowdfunding product that I actually received. So, crowdfunding, I've had really mixed results, usually bad results. Actually, earlier this year, I was just looking over all the open orders I have, all the things I've backed that I've never received. And we're talking about like 2, 3, 4 years of things that just I've never gotten, and I've forgotten about it over the years. One of them was that Game Band watch that we just got an email recently saying that it's never coming out. So it is a double-edged sword. Most of the time, I've had bad experiences. Today, we do have something that was a success from a company that has really evolved into a mainstream company from crowdfunding. I got the Ticpods from Indiegogo. So these are wireless earbuds, truly wireless earbuds. Similar to those of the Apple Airpods. And they were crowdfunding for, I think, like $79, $99. And they are currently available on Amazon and also on Mobvoi's website. And so I've had these for a while. They shipped it out to Indiegogo backers, and I've had it way before they were listed on Amazon. So now it's also on sale on Amazon for, I think, about like $130. And so I'm going to give you some notes about this after using it at work and casually for about a couple months. So Ticpod comes in this little charging crate. This charging crate has a micro USB port that's how you charge it. I kind of wish this was a USB-C port because this is a 2018 product, and basically everybody's technology in the last few years, they're using USB-C. If you had a phone from 2016 and above, you're using USB-C. If you've had a laptop from the last 3 years, you're using USB-C. So the fact that this doesn't use USB-C, I know it's to fit into the budget space, but I do kind of wish this had this. This case does not charge wirelessly either, so you do need to plug this in. In terms of how the case feels, it is all plastic, but I do like the plastic feel on here. There's like a nice texture on the top of the case, and it's just a really slick case. It is a little slippery to hold, but there is a little band that you can hook it on. So it is like a little keychain. So I do like this case, and on the inside there's a magnetic grip on here. So it's also an LED by the Ticpods that will tell you what your battery life is. If it's flashing red, that means your battery life on the box is running out, which I am here. What I was saying, the battery life, I've had no problem getting through a full day of work, casually wearing it. Whenever I'm doing something where it doesn't require my audio presence, you can have your earphones sitting in your desk and doing your work, typing articles and things like that. I've had it on for a good work day, probably like not the full work day, but like maybe 6 hours of use. I take it off here and there to go do something. So if your work style is similar to that, you can probably get a full day without charging it. That's including the case charge. So the case charge should hold a good amount of battery life. I think it was about like 14 hours. The earphones themselves should hold about like a 4-hour charge. So together you should get like 18 hours. They advertise actually 18 hours of battery life altogether here. So that should last you a full day. And if you're casually using it, you're going to have much more left over. So battery life has actually been pretty darn good here. In terms of how this thing works, there is a little bit of a annoyance here with this magnetic clasp of the case. It's pretty strong, and it's actually pretty difficult for me to open it. There's not enough of a lip here for you to put your finger through, so it is a little difficult to continuously open this and close it. And the magnetic pull is pretty strong. But once you pull them out, these headphones are actually these earphones are actually pretty nice. They're plastic once again, but they're kind of like this matte feeling, so they're not really glossy. That's one thing I liked about these. They're not glossy at all. And I typically don't like earbuds. After wearing them for a little period of time, my ears do get annoyed, and they do hurt my ears, like earphones in general. I've never been a huge fan of earphones. I'd rather have headphones. But I've worn these for long periods of time to test it, like running or doing some sort of activity, or like I said, at my desk. and I could last like a good hour without them, shaping my ear and making it feel discomfort. Whereas some other harder ones, um, like the old Apple Airpods that used to come with Apple devices, those hurt my ears after a while. This, it's pretty comfortable. It really didn't like configure my ear to make it feel uncomfortable. So I actually was able to wear it for a long period of time, and they're very durable. It doesn't really come off. Even like shaking your head like a maniac, it holds in place. So these things do hold in the ear pretty well. Um, it is, if you're comparing with the AirPods, it is a little bigger and the shape is a little different. When it's dangling from your ear, it doesn't really go straight down. Kind of curves in, kind of like one of those headsets, like those Bluetooth headsets businessmen use when talking on the phone. It kind of has that kind of feel, but it is subtle enough where it doesn't stretch too far out across your cheek. It's just right off the brim of your ear. So I do think the form factor is a little larger than I would have liked it to be. And I actually expected it to be tinier. Looking at the photos, the concept photos and stuff during the Indiegogo campaign, I thought it was going to be smaller, but it's actually a little longer than I thought it would be, a little bigger. But physically, they're not too thick, they're not heavy at all, and you can use them individually. So you can use one in one ear and then put the other one in the case. You adjust the audio by swiping up and down. If you swipe up, the audio goes louder. If you swipe down, the audio goes softer. You can also tap on it. So there is touch control here, so that adds a bit of premiumness to these Ticpods. So what it comes down to is audio quality, right? The audio quality surprisingly is very solid. I actually think the audio quality is really good, and I was not expecting it to be this good. In terms of earphones, one of my favorite ones for a long time were from Xiaomi, the Pistons. Multiple variations of the Pistons have provided very good value for the price. I think for general consumers, I thought the Pistons were some of the best earphones you can get on the market for quality, for value. And the AirPods are also quite solid in that aspect too. And I was surprised to say that these probably get louder without getting distorted than most of the stuff that I've at least had in my ear. Um, so I was actually pretty surprised at the volume that this goes up to and how clear, no distortion that these things get. And the lag, the Bluetooth input lag, when you're watching something like a podcast, right? If you want to actually watch it while wearing these, it's slightly there. It's better than some other Bluetooth devices where I've seen where it's a dramatic delay. These are actually pretty good input wise. So I'm pretty impressed with the performance here of these, and for what I got it for, less than $100, I think it is absolutely a great deal. For 130-ish, we're hitting about the Apple AirPod pricing. I do think that these are solid and they do work for iOS and Android. I personally tested both of those platforms with these. Those will work for Windows. Basically, any Bluetooth that I put it with, it's worked flawlessly. So these are very flexible and easy to use. So yeah, I do highly recommend these Ticpods. I do think that these are some of the better truly wireless earphones out on the market. And I know there are options out there for like $50 on Amazon from no-name Chinese brands that you can get. And they might get good reviews, but you never really know of them. They're unbranded Chinese brands, and there is a market for those. And I do champion some of those, but you have to be very selective of it. Whereas if you pay $100 for these, you do have a frame of mind. These guys make the Ticwatches. They've been around. The Ticwatches have been very successful, and they made a sequel to it, and they do have good reviews. And unless they pull a Pebble and completely just go 360 or 180 and go backwards, I do think that they're here to stay. So Mobvoi or whoever makes the Ticwatches and the Ticpods, very solid company, and I think they'll be around for a while. So at least you're getting a reliable brand. So I do highly recommend these if you're looking at wireless earbuds. Once again, I'm Alex of Hypnotech. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of these, and if you are someone who listens to music, if you are someone who listens to music a lot, let me know what your preferred earbuds are. Maybe I'll take a look at those too. And I'll see you guys very soon.
If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, hit the bell button below so that you don't miss a single video in the future. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!